Well, after you see a few of the graphs, I'll show you.
All right, people, thanks for joining us on Google Hangouts. We're finally going live, about 10 minutes late. My apologies. It's just actually for meetings, how much meetings don't matter. Yeah, so it's really taking up community. Especially if that's what I know about. All right, so we're going to start a little meeting here with a little memorial for our good friend, Wayne Rutland. And forgive me while I walk around the room.
454. I'd be glad to help clean them up. You wouldn't mind, I'll give you the name number. No, I don't think I told them back in, but I can do it. I don't know why. So bad. I know that girl from the you know her name?
We're bringing in. Thanks everybody for coming out. Hillsborough Libertarian meeting. We do actually have an agenda which I want to pass out to everybody. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
We already got the agenda. So pass them all out to everybody.
You want the agenda? No. Okay. Well, good. Put those down.
All right, we got attendance recorded, so we can scratch that off. You got your connection all ready to go?
Yeah, I do. So
Are you ready to get to it?
we're going now. We're
All right.
that's a right. I'll just open it. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Without
So,
further ado.
folks, I was going to mention to you folks on Google that our good friend Wayne Rutland had passed on, longtime member, Vietnam era veteran, 20 years of service. He was Special Forces. Anybody in the room want to say anything before we have a moment of silence for our good friend Wayne?
I'll just tell a couple little stories about Wayne. Actually, first, probably it's at one of the meetings or two of the meetings at the pizza place down in South Tampa. And we had this private room and again, nice restaurants. And the name of the West Shore, what it was called, it's closed now. Yeah. And so a nice restaurant, people after work, and we'd have our meetings in the back. And he came in once with this giant rifle and set it up, wanted to sell it to us in the room, and just didn't care. And he brought his dog in, and the major D or whoever came in and said, "You can't have your dog here." And he's like, "It's a service dog." And he's like, "Oh well, okay, but your gun's here." So it was kind of the gun stayed and the dog stayed. So that was just something. He was just didn't care. He wanted to sell us his guns or show us his guns really. He was. We had in 2013, Libertarian Party of Hillsborough did a day of resistance where we were out on Bayshore Boulevard, and he helped out greatly with that by bringing these giant flags, and he again brought his dog, but he brought his dog everywhere, and he really helped out with that because the flags were huge and they almost took over the street. And finally, we had a Halloween party at Fort Brady. Again, he came with his dog, but this time he actually came in costume. He wore his camouflage, which he always wore. But he and his dog both had on the tarp and the camouflage type of netting over each. Yeah, I have a picture of the dog, and he had another dog too. And
Nice.
so he participated, and he did help us out at the convention in Tampa on the registration table. So he's somebody that I get to see often.
He also is an author. I don't know if you folks knew this, but he's recently completed some books called the series is Empire of the Wolf. Last one was Princess of the Empire and Warlord of Tarma. So I think the third one here too. Roswell, the Real Survivor. So I wish I knew a little bit more about this gentleman, but I've been interested to learn. So I'm going to leave this out for you guys. He's got a website too. I guess you can just look him up. I don't simply clear what the website is. He's on Amazon, and it's under military science fiction is the category. All right, beautiful.
Anybody else have anything to say?
So
Wayne?
So
Anybody else have anything to say about Wayne? No? Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and have a moment of silence for Wayne.
Thanks.
You're talking about Mountain Man, right?
Oh, that's-
No,
that's-
no,
What
no.
about
Oh,
Joey?
yeah.
Who's this? Oh, wait.
Mountain Man, you're
Oh,
thinking
okay.
RJ.
In the little-
Richard Paul.
Mountain Man leaves
Yeah,
in
he's
the
Yeah.
from Dallas, yeah.
Oh, from
The
Dallas.
last
Richard
one,
Paul, yeah.
last one, yeah.
Yeah, last one, I think it was.
Super. So tonight we have a special guest, BURT LINTHICUM.
Yes, very good.
Tampa native, 35-year career as a CPA. He was a candidate for Florida Senate under the Constitution Party in 2006. As many of you libertarians know, he's recently the treasurer for Adrian Wiley's gubernatorial campaign. And not to walk him into the topic too hard, but I've described it as a presentation on the current economic issues, how we got here, what is next, and how America or Florida can restart the monetary system after the current one has crashed. So we're going to give Florida a BURT here for at least 30 minutes or however long it takes for us to learn. Thank you.
Okay, well,
Help welcome him, too.
Thank you. I'm not sure if there's a way for the state of Florida realistically is going to get us out of this. So I think we better look out for ourselves and not think of the state or anyone else to look after us. Anyway, when we go through some charts quickly, we've only got 30 minutes, so we've got to get on with the meeting. I want to help you understand why I, as a CPA and an auditor, by the way, not a tax accountant, auditor looks at trends, looks at companies, takes the pieces and puts puzzles together. What I'm seeing, which has me spooked, and help you, first of all, accept that we've got some serious financial issues facing the markets, if there aren't markets anymore, with all the central bank interventions, and money itself. So first of all, this is a graph of the buying power of the dollar. Okay, you can see it's lost 98% of its value since 1913. This is another graph I think is important. Business is dying, is going up, and new business is being formed, is going down. It's called your death cross in investing. The bad statistics take over the good statistics. And that has widespread ramifications. You know, when there's no new businesses being formed, people may not move jobs or try something different. There's so many stifling regulations, impediments where new businesses won't start out. Main Street's plummeted. Wall Street's done great in the last few years. There's a number of food stamps, like 40-something million people. And the duration has gone way up. Duration of unemployment and food stamps. Now, they just squawked out the last day or so, unemployment's at 5%. Like, it's such ridiculous hogwash that insults your intelligence. What they're doing is not counting all the workers that are playing given up, or PhDs who are driving taxis, or people that are working part-time when they want to go full-time, and so forth. When you take all that into account, this labor, people not in the labor force has gone way up to 90 million people of working age that ain't working. And then the participation rate, you know, just the participation rate, the people not in the workforce are going both in a bad direction. Here's another one. Oh, but old people, the red graph, they're actually more employed than ever. Wonder why? Because they can't afford to survive without continuing to work. Whereas the rest of the people, the participation rate's way down. This is guy John Williams of Shadow Stats keeps statistics the way they used to in 1980 because he was so sick of all the hogwash. Well, he's coming up with that. He comes up with inflation and various other statistics, but he says we're out at 5.5–6% now. This is a disturbing graph. Crustacean men 20 and older, they're really getting hit hard. Student loans of over $1 trillion Federal Reserve notes, and the delinquency is going up faster than the loans. This is what one of my boom charts. As a financial person, you know, living in that realm, when I see a graph like this, I die for my foxhole. I don't even peer warily out, guns drawn. Right there, you see when the financial system effectively blew up, you can see what happened. This is the Fed balance sheet where it's actually buying securities and issuing currency. And who's issuing these securities? Well, the federal government. And all the primary dealers are wheeling and dealing. And all this money's out there sloshing around. They're basically saving the banks, which, by the way, own the not really federal with no reserve. But that's a boom. You see that? Look how it was before 1974 when Nixon took us off the gold window. But that's a boom, guys. Credit market instruments, just all this financial leverage, derivatives, credit default swaps, and interest rate swaps off the charts. This is another one. Oh, the stock market's going up. Well, it correlates almost perfectly with the Fed balance sheet. All this money getting pumped in the system. Where's it going? Well, everywhere, but stocks too. Blowing up bubbles, blowing up stocks, blowing up everything except gold. Here's another boom. See the boom? I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. A little kid in kindergarten probably should point that boom out. Here's where the Fed all of a sudden decides to chop interest rates basically to zero. And meanwhile, they build up their balance sheet by buying all these debt instruments out here from these zombie banks at 100 cents on the dollar. So there's your boom. That better sink in because this is scary. What's happened afterwards is virtually unprecedented. Here's another one, short-term treasury yield. You know, going way back and see it floating around, and wham, boom. Here's healthcare or sick treatment, out of control. Another one of these industries supported by government. Oh, but its healthcare costs going up 600% since 1975. Nothing compared to college tuition. Again, another government favor in allowing costs to go way beyond the constraints of supply and demand. Incarcerated Americans, of course, has to go up too, duh. And the deficits are scaring the daylights out of me because as a CPA, say I'm auditing a company and they're running deficits like this, but you wouldn't even need these CPA training to see that don't work. You're scared out of your wits seeing something like that, which is why I'm concerned. Moving on, public debt. You know, if you remember your high school math, analytical geometry, it's like a parabola. It's scary. Now, those little bars are the cash deficits. Oh, but the accrual deficits, which is what my clients have to report on, GAAP accounting, is like not just $1 trillion, no, like 6 trillion. Scary. Again, if I had a client doing that, I'd be spooked. I would probably withdraw. Of course, they've survived. Normally, a client, they'd be buried years ago. Bankruptcy lawyers would go better. That hadn't been updated recently. Here's another telltale. See, they can manipulate a lot of statistics, but just gasoline sales by refiners have gone down. Obviously, the economy has been contracting. This consensus, the high hopes versus actual equity prices. Yeah, boring graph. Oh, income distribution during expansions, which this one ain't a recovery, nor is an expansion, but you can see the income's really going to the top 10%. Really, a lot of that's the top 1 or even 0.01%. Business debt, Fed, credit market instruments, okay, employment opportunities people feel are going to be decreasing. Oh, the intelligence quotients going down. Imagine that. Well, anyway, these graphs are intended to show you why I'm concerned that we have a problem looming in front of us, and one that really we need to understand is going to affect our daily lives and hopefully plan for it. Now, how's it going to happen? What's going to happen? I don't know. What I do know is I've been jumping up and down since 2000, Well, actually, I ran for office in 2006. Kind of seeing things weren't right. But 2008, I was spooked because I thought the whole, the banking system was going to go. When some of these guys go to pull $500 billion out of the ETFs or some of these funds, and there's just not enough people selling or buying to cover that, the price is plummeting, they can create havoc. Well, that's partly what happens. So people started pulling too much money out too fast and trying to escape. Figure the first one out of the burning theater, the one who survives, everyone else gets trampled or burned to death. But I tend to think that if they keep printing, creating money out of thin air, that something inevitably has to happen. You can't just print money, hey, we're rich. Why didn't I think of that? Well, it has been gone before. It's always failed disastrously. The difference now, though, is that there's no real sound money on the planet anymore. All the currencies are fiat, meaning by decree, government decree. So they're backed only by faith, and faith can be lost very quickly, as it was, in some recent examples, Weimar Germany, Zimbabwe, even dollar since 1913 has basically gone down to 2% of its original value. So one thing I worry about is that all this stuff could affect the supply of goods and services, all the things we need to survive, like possibly food and fuel, and once that supply chain is disrupted, that we are all vulnerable. So now, how is it going to happen? I don't know, but I think there's going to be some triggering events, panic in the bond market, which is way bigger than the stock market. Because there's now, back in 2008, there was, I forget how, 50 or 80, 70, $60 trillion of debt outstanding worldwide. Now there's 100 trillion. All they've done is created all this debt out of thin air. The EU, the People's Bank of China, the Bank of Japan, and of course the Bank of England, and not really Federal Reserve. They've all been creating money out of thin air. They've been fighting sort of a currency war with each other. Devaluing, like the Chinese just recently devalued. Kyrgyzstan, Vietnam, a lot of them are competitively devaluing. It's throwing things into some turmoil. Now, I tend to think that there's going to be some kind of panic that's going to cause the banks' insolvency to be exposed. These banks really don't have any capital. For example, they have an investment portfolio, stocks, bonds, they have loans outstanding. And if the economy takes a big hit, and the loans make up 80% of their portfolio and take a 10% hit, that's what, $8 billion, and it could wipe out their $5 billion in capital. Okay, the bank might have $5 billion in capital. $80 billion loan portfolio, they take a 10% lick, 8%, it wipes out their capital. The investment securities go down 10%, the capital is wiped out. And that's what the Fed's been doing the last 7 years, is really just pumping easy money into the banks to try to prop them up, make them look propped up. I, for one, think that not only are the financial markets in bubble territory, especially bonds and stocks too, because the Fed's balance sheet, but currencies themselves are threatened. So I generally try not to hold too much currency at any time, whether in U.S. dollars or other foreign currencies. Now, how's it going to blow up? I'm not sure. I think something in the financial markets will be triggered. Just like in Cyprus, you look at what's happened already. Look at Argentina, what happened there in 2001, 2002. All of a sudden, they defaulted on their bonds, their currency got whacked, their banks went under. People. One guy was work ladies woke up in the morning with people out in the streets banging pots and pans, marching down the streets. All the banks were closed, and their peso had been devalued by 50%. what would happen in Greece when they shut down the banks for 2 weeks or so. But before in Cyprus, what they do in Cyprus is one of these cartoons is letting the cat out of the bag. In other words, these bail-ins, they call them, instead of having the taxpayers, the countries at large, bail out these insolvent zombie banks. The depositors would. And it used to be the depositor was held sacred, because the minute you start threatening that sanctity of being a depositor, now everyone pulls the money out to create its own panic. So they basically passed legislation in the U.S. and Canada and much of Europe to basically legitimizing this theft called bail-ins, which they did in Cyprus. And they argued, oh, it's mostly the Russian oligarchs. Well, whatever. There's companies that had $700,000 and lost $100,000, but they needed $650 to make payroll and pay their vendors. They had paid no attention to who has what money for what reason. I mean, they just robbed it outright. So something like this, I think, could happen. But I figure a man's got to be prepared for basically everything these days. So I always go back to the 3 G's, although I put them in the order of grub, guns, and gold. And more specifically, grub is food, stored food. That also means water, okay? And you can't store enough water. So you get a gravity water purifier if you haven't already. I'm down to basics here, folks. Survival. The big Berkey, I have 250 tons and do 30 gallons a day. Okay, mud puddle water, turning refreshing to the drinking water. Rice and beans are cheap and plentiful now. Let's get 100-pound sacks. 100-pound sacks of beans, $80, 70, $80. That'll feed a lot of people. But you store them in Mylar bags with desiccants, the silica gel packets, and oxygen absorbers. Try to evacuate all the air out of it with either CO2 or nitrogen, and you can seal them with an iron. Put a board across and seal it. But anyway, you can get the big pail liners for a Homer bucket, or rice, because it's a high volume item. Just about a third of a 100-pound sack, 33 pounds will fit in a 5-gallon bucket. Top that off and you can seal it and get O-ring gasket lids and beat it on with a rubber mallet. There you go. Okay, desiccants, rice, oxygen absorbers, evacuate the oxygen absorbers, seal it, and package it up. Or beans, you can get 14 by 10 Mylar bags, because you don't want to just open one 5-gallon bucket of one kind of beans. So do those in the smaller bags where you can fit 4 of them per Homer bucket.
Yeah, we'll do yourself a favor too and get yourself a food storage type 5-gallon bucket. Kill 2 birds with 1
Yeah,
stone.
you can do that. As long as it's the HD, this high density polyethylene, and it's got a little symbol in the plastic, it's okay. You
Yeah.
want to get the El Cheapo buckets.
Right.
And you can buy stuff already pre-canned. It's a little more expensive, but it saves you a lot of hassle. Because, if you try to do powdered milk, it's dusty, or flour will make a mess. Those things are not too much fun. But it's real cheap, and when you do it right, it'll store for 25, 30 years. Okay? I've got a ton. Okay? I've got a ton myself.
Yeah, I've been working on it myself for the last probably 3 years.
Okay, it's better than cans, better than everything. They also send them to sell this big buckets of wheat, but the shipping is astronomical. Anyway, so the gravity water purifier, because water is even more precious than getting food. But you don't want to be spending silver or whatever currencies, except later, for overpriced rice and beans just to survive. And of course, gardening tools, seeds, stuff like that have a little garden in the backyard. It doesn't take much to make that beans and rice and a little better. And secondly, no matter what you have, how well you prepare, if you can't protect it from a zombie apocalypse scenario, then you're wasting your time. You might as well just give up. So I strongly recommend that everybody have firearms. In fact, every member of the household ought to be armed as long as they're old enough to know what they're doing. I like semi-automatic pistols with high-capacity magazines, like modern ones. Like your 1911 model, it only holds like 8 rounds, doesn't it? But these new ones, a compact will hold 12 rounds, a subcompact will hold 9, a 40 caliber, right? I am fond of the AK because it's inexpensive. Well, actually, it used to be inexpensive. They've gotten pricier. But they're real reliable for close range zombie scenario. You get 30 round mags all day, case of ammo for about $300, case of 1,000 rounds. Or your ARs, if you got the money for your SIG 556, get a case of ammo at $350 or so. Then shotguns always good to have too. I only have hunting shotguns, but a lot of people do have the riot shotgun, almost 7 or 9 rounds. But also training, as Russ emphasizes. You know, I've got the weapons, I don't really train.
You gotta train.
You don't train?
What we said, I don't really train. I do go to the range from time to time. I go out in the woods, but you know, as far as the tactical training, the different scenarios like the basic zombie mad rush scenario.
The basic mechanics of front right rear press fall through, you can learn that real quick.
Nighttime zombie attack.
But when you start having to make decisions, you got all this input that you're not used to having. That's when you just want to go and I've seen people just idle after a while. So you have to be exposed to it.
Before I forget, a good website to keep up with stuff, #1 financial blog on the planet, Zero Hedge. If you just scan the articles on Zero Hedge, you'll start catching on to what's going on. Okay? And there's just one article, and I can't backtrack, I'm sorry, because I don't have internet. Zero Hedge is really good. Gold Seek is very good too. Zero Hedge, I think, is #1.
A lot of them use Zero Hedge on their sites.
Hey, question for you.
Well, and then after guns, well, do you have a gun question? Okay. After guns, gold. Although I prefer silver. One of the reasons I do is because the exchange rate right now, on the comics at least, is like 75 to 1. Although, as Russ astutely pointed out, the ratio after the physical premiums, because silver's in short supply right now, and the premiums have gone way up, meaning the spread over future spot price was virtually meaningless because it's disconnected from
Very
the
manipulated.
Yeah. But at these manipulated low prices, the silver is just flying off the shelves and getting charged more. So anyway, but they're trading at 60 for the real stuff, 75 on the futures exchange comments. Well, back when silver gold exchanged as currency, they were used as currency, the ratio was 15 to 1. 15 pieces of silver for 1 piece of gold. Now, mean reversion, when the fundamentals of investing, things may jump around, they'll revert to mean, that stabilize at a mean. That 15 to 1 approximates the relative amounts in the Earth's crust. So it really makes sense that it's 15 to 1 if they're circulating. But now it's all based on a bunch of fluff. In fact, there's a graph I just got today that shows that there's, of all the open contracts on the COMEX, 0.5% of that is actually gold in inventory. So 200 to 1 leverage, 200 times more contracts out there than registered metal in the COMEX approved warehouses. It's crazy. But I prefer silver. In fact, I got a couple of my favorites here. 100-ounce bars. If you've got a lot of firms that you want to pack away, these babies stack so nicely. Really concentrated, not as concentrated as gold. And Canadian Maple Leafs, they come in a big yellow monster box with 500 ounces. These are 25 coin rolls. There's 20 rolls and 25 coins each. And come in a big monster box. You go to the bullion dealers in know, you can shop some, but we've got one of the best in the United States right here in Lewis, Gainesville Points. I bought my stuff.
Yeah, I bought
some. They're just really good. They're hard to beat, and you can drive there and pick up your stuff and avoid any shit.
And they
some of
also-
these guys will ship for free. And at my last store, I didn't use Gainesville. I actually used this other company just so I didn't have to drive to Lewis because they were a little bit cheaper. Right now, Gainesville beats them. Except for the ship.
Gainesville coins, when you go up there and buy something, their security guard goes out with you to your vehicle and watches over you while you're loading. So
They loaded mine. 'Cause
very
it had-
secure. Well,
Yeah, so they
Come by
carted
like
it
that.
out there. I put it in my trunk, so I didn't hurt my back. But, you know, these are some of my favorites. Now, as far as silver gold, another thing about gold. Let's say for some reason you can't get a hold of any cash money or people won't accept it. So you got a 1 ounce gold bullion coin. What are you going to buy with it? You know, get some fuel for your car. You can get an armload of vegetables and a chicken from the guy down the street. No. Now you can maybe get a horse and a plow and, you know, some other major stuff, or a couple of them will get you a car. But silver, yeah, you can get one of these silver maples and go down the street. Hey, ounce of silver is an ounce of silver, baby. That's money. No matter what, you know, if there's anyone selling anything, they will take silver. Right now, they take Federal Reserve notes. It's fine. One day they might not, or they might not buy as much, is what happens. And any money in banks, you know, you could get Cyprus. Where is it? There. Cyprus bailout. The cat out of the bag. But that scenario could happen here, and you really have to be prepared for it. Now, as far as the state of Florida, frankly, I belong to the League of the South, the Florida League of the South. We understand that the federal government cannot be reformed. They're so far gone, they can't be reformed. Therefore, really, the only thing we can do is secede. Hopefully, this time we will peacefully achieve our independence as a state. But we've been associated with other southern states is another matter. But the question actually did arise within the League of the South membership. How would we handle this? How would we handle that? How would we handle this? All the things that now are supposed to be done by the general government, how are we going to handle it? And one of the things I wrote Governor Scott about when he first was elected is system of sound money. You know, that your gold and silver currency. Establish that for the state of Florida.
Texas is.
Yeah, Texas. Because University of Texas retirement system. Anyway, why don't I open it up for some questions if anyone wants to know something specific that I didn't cover.
I've noticed probably the last 4 or 5 years that banks are popping up like crazy. I mean, way more than you've ever seen, and probably in your lifetime. Plant City alone, I mean, little dinky ass Plant City, 5 new banks, you know, in the last couple 3 years, and it's like, you know, why? Why are they popping up everywhere?
Actually, that's
And banks you've never even heard of the name of them, you know.
Because they have essentially financialized the economy. It used to be banks were just one sector that was there to assist the entrepreneurs, the producers with gathering, borrowing capital. But now it's kind of turned around where they're out there gambling and doing all kinds of weird stuff that banks never did before. And your average guy is really not being served, okay? It's just that the whole economy's been financialized, just like they took all these mortgages and they packed them into securities and sell them off and slice them and dice them into different tranches and risk groups, and just crazy. Collateralized debt obligations, and that's what really got hit by AIG. You know, they're insuring some of these securities. They're holding it back. The reason the feds put money is basically to bail out their counterparties. Like they say, they bailed out General Motors. They didn't bail out General Motors. They bailed out the unions. Because when you go bankrupt, those liabilities are gone. If somebody comes in and buys those assets are going to sit there and grow cobwebs. Somebody's going to come in and pick them up on 20 cents on the dollar and start making some cars without those legacy union pensions. So that's normally what would happen. No, there's the losers, the investors in that company. Oh, well, but no, the feds had to come in and bail out effectively the unions. So everything's all financialized now, where the banks are the end of themselves instead of just a means for businesses to raise capital.
Is there any possibility for, once if money fails, for Florida to create its own dollar and possibly back it with land or something?
Florida too. Okay, the market consists of a bunch of people. No group of guys, however smart, educated, can substitute for the collective brilliance and stupidity of millions of people out there slugging it out. See, and that's why I like gold and silver. First of all, it's real. It ain't a piece of paper with numbers branded on it. Okay, it's real. And governments, I don't count that for anything. You really can't count. It's us, the people, that are going to have to choose what money is. And what I hope is that if I'm prepared when everything crashes, and the only things left standing among the twisted, smoking financial wreckage is gold and silver, then that gold and silver may re-emerge to try to rebuild. Because I'm afraid that's what's going to happen is once the dollar is no longer the global reserve currency, and we can't just ship treasuries to Saudi Arabia and they ship us oil, then China won't accept treasury securities in exchange for all their different things we buy, or Japan accept them for their cars and electronics. When that happens, then lifestyles here in the United States are going to change dramatically, especially when you have tens of millions, if not 100 million people total dependent in some way upon the government. Medicare, Social Security, you're dependent on the government. Anyone who receives any of this other welfare stuff, food stamps, which is, there's another 40-something million people. And we works for them, makes you, or as a contractor to them. So you've got so many dependent people now that I don't know if you can be turned on. That's why to get back to answering your question, I think the people, the state is not going to plan for them. They're all just a subdivision of the federal government at this point. Federalism is largely eroded. The states don't really have, they don't exert their sovereignty or their own rights under the Constitution at all. So the states, what are they going to do? Pile on you on top of the feds pile on top of all of us.
How about require all taxes or federal taxes to go through, some type of state office before getting released to the feds?
Well, you're talking about solutions, political solutions to this mess. There are solutions for changing the federal government with the change of the Constitution. But for example, you can't have a direct unapportioned tax. If there's one libertarian plank that's rotten that I need to tell you about tonight, it's the tax platform. And if you go to the Constitution Party, they got to figure it out. You can't have a direct unapportioned federal tax. And it's expressly prohibited in what Article 1, Section 9, I believe. And what you have is the feds robbing me, robbing Russ, robbing you, robbing all of us, and then taking our money and dangling it in front of the Florida legislature, making them sit up in bed, okay? In other words, they're using the people's own money to basically control and puppeteer their state legislatures. So there's no federalism in the balance of power between the feds and the states anymore. That combined with the 17th Amendment, where the state legislature can't yank its U.S. senator back home, taking the woodshed and send some other idiot there with the threat of yanking him. See, the state legislatures used to elect the U.S. Senator 17 amendment changing the popular vote. So the senators don't represent the people. They represent the states. That's why there's 2 per state. The House does represent the people. It's a portion based on population, but the Senate is 2 per state. The states are supposed to control the U.S. senators. So again, the state has little muscle there head on in the federal government. But that was eroded in the 17th Amendment. So those are really the solutions. And repeal the Federal Reserve Act for starters. And then you have to have something to replace it with. There's some really brilliant guys out there, know a lot more than I do, got more experience with
Prior to
international.
1913, regional banks assumed that role without anybody appointing them to that.
And you also had gold and silver out
Yeah.
there. All that trust in that. But actually, as far as commerce, you think about all the major global commerce that goes on now. Well, there was quite a bit of commerce back in the day by, Karen's Dutch sailing relatives all over the planet. And they use basically gold and silver, but not just gold and silver, they use gold and silver trade notes. And there's this Professor Antal Fakit with the Hungarian wing in the Austrian School of Economics. He talks about the real bills doctrine, but what they are, they're not really debt instruments. They're like a letter of credit, but they're backed by gold. So you promise, if I'm going to pick up my goods here, but I don't have the money yet. I got to sell them. So I'm going to give you a gold trade note, back my gold. And then when I go and I sell my stuff, now I'm going to get gold and I can use it to pay you. So this system of gold trade notes could facilitate commerce in a way now handled through banks. Because I see it as CBA, huge amounts of money, and they're all going back and forth between banks. It could be gold trade notes, real bills, whatever you want to call it. So that's another aspect to it. That's a 2-hour question in itself, Kevin. I think you realize. How could the state pull out of it? There's ways, but it's not going to happen. Not under the current system. Not our state legislature, not under the 16th and 17th.
Is there any state in the union that's leading this effort to stand on their own when the Federal Reserve note finally crashes?
There's some that are minting coins, but a couple have passed laws saying that silver is legal tender, but there's some states that are rumbling here and there, but on a scale to take over after a catastrophic financial event, I don't know. I don't think anybody is, because we're all dependent on this Federal Reserve, which now is used to settle a lot of international trade. Petrodollar is under threat.
That's coming to an end this week, apparently. That's what the Saudi Kings in Washington for. Obama, that's over.
Yeah. See how that goes. Didn't go too well for the Chinese a month ago.
Anything else someone specifically interested in?
I've been hearing about almost a few years ago that the rest of the world quit buying our debt in any appreciable amount. You familiar with that, or?
And in fact, have turned into net sellers very recently too. Intel is correct, sir. Yes, for years and years, China and Japan. Well, Japan had a huge amount of debt, and China actually surpassed them. But now, you know who the biggest holder of our debt is? Blew by China even?
Federal Reserve itself. Federal
Correct.
Reserve itself?
The not really federal, with no reserves, is now the largest holder of U.S. Treasury securities. So basically, that's kind of a sleight of hand. I don't want to use
That'd be proof.
ladies in the room.
Would that be proof they're a separate country than us? That they would be their own sovereign?
They are a cartel of private banks. Is what they are.
And they buy it through a small group in Belgium.
Belgium's been used as a fund, and now they're connecting China to transactions through Belgium, and it's all squirrely, shell game.
How much of that is because of they want to dump it? How much of it's because they're having to liquidate because they need money in their own country?
It's both, actually. And recently, now that their stock market, their currency, and all this, yeah, they've redeemed something like 97 billion,
Yeah.
94 billion, 97 billion last month alone.
And then they turned around.
That's how quickly they liquidated.
And
Yeah.
it was right after they devaluated the yuan. And of course, when they sold it, they got dollars.
And after the
Then it
fact,
turns out they picked up another 5% on that because of the devaluation. And then they used that money to go to Shanghai and bought gold.
Well, any last questions for Bert? Bert,
anyway,
thanks for
if
coming out.
anyone ever needs advice on those basic three favorite subjects, I will help you out. There are places where you can get the different food storage supplies, the Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, the desk.
Amazon's a great place for all that
And
stuff.
yeah, the big wholesale
Yeah, Amazon's a great
grocery
place for a lot of that.
depot stores.
Oh,
They got
San
the
Juan
monster
Market,
bags
you
and stuff.
You can buy a 55-pound of beans for like $60 at San Juan Market on Hillsborough. Same with
I
rice
think
and
I
all that
got, I
stuff.
was going to my
Everything's
favorite-
under 100. It's like 60 to 80.
My
I've been
favorite
seeing-
Puerto Rican restaurant was selling them to me at Quas, and got like $70 for 100 pounds of beans. That'll feed a lot of people. It's
Yeah.
as much starch.
100 pounds of beans.
I've
Wow.
seen a
So I
lot of
care
that
about
stuff
people,
popping up
especially
on
my own
commercials
family.
too.
And Karen.
Food storage.
If I could feed her, she could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So there could be a lot of starving people. And I just want to make sure I got enough food to survive that, whatever happens, until it all kind of sorts itself back out again and we have a steady supply of essential necessities.
Toilet paper.
Because right now, your grocery stores,
So that's what dollar bills will be.
That's what Dollar
Yeah.
Bills before.
your grocery stores.
New version of my
use what's called
wallpaper, I guess.
Just-in-time inventory, where they know exactly what they're selling, how fast, and they'll order in volume, and it arrives just in time to restock the shelves. So they may have that 3 days supply total of food,
Yeah.
it's rotating
Yeah,
constantly.
and that's every place now.
Well,
So people
yeah.
think that they're
So-
gonna,
Supply chain breaks down,
Everything's like that.
And
yeah, there are no more back.
the
roads.
banks are closed, and the stock market crashes, and who knows, some other, some stupid false flag event to divert everybody, and be good to be self-sufficient.
Let's give it up for Bert. Thank you, Bert. So, thanks again, guys, for coming out. And I think we're at the point where Francisco, our new secretary, recorded attendance, and we'll talk anything about voting. We're going to do a vote today on some open positions.
No, we actually got the chair position open tonight. If anybody's interested in running for chair, anyone?
Yeah, we get several. Younger.
No?
Top of the list is definitely chair. Then we have a campaign chair. Basically, that'd be a person who's supposed to know the ins and outs of the schedule and the procedures for getting political committee registered, and then obviously running a campaign. Communication, that's me. I've actually got that slot. Development chair. That's basically combination of bringing money into the group, development chair, as well as finding talent. We definitely need candidates. The membership chair, that's basically someone who's a good person for hugs. We hug people when they come in the door, let them know they're loved, and let them keep coming back. Political action chair, we just recently, Matt Nellens was active in that role for a little while. He helped us with our bylaws. He was a contributor where he could be at the time. But right now that's open. That's kind of like everybody's responsibility in this room. Everyone's got their reason for coming here. But political action is whatever that reason is you came. And some of us are sick and tired of them bonding out billions of dollars on our backs so they can do road maintenance and hire more labor on city roles or county roles. And of course, anyways, that's the story. Who in the room is interested in being considered for the spots?
No one.
No one. Okay. Go out and find someone who is and bring it back next month, please. I understand everybody's got busy stuff to deal with, and we understand. But we are basically 14 or 15 months away from our county and municipal elections. So we are actually kind of organized well enough with enough activity to be successful at that time. So this is a valid thing to try to do here. Here we are, 14, 15 months ahead of the vote. All right, Vice Chair Patrick, you have anything you want to share about?
I do not. Not today.
No spin this thing around.
Treasurer, did Brian ever get anything to us?
Treasurer, what?
Did Treasurer report, did Brian ever get anything to us?
Oh, Brian, I didn't see it, but
I didn't either, so.
we have a treasurer. He's had some issues with his spine or his neck or something. We've been communicating with them.
Did we have last month's,
I think I should take that back. I did get something from him. He said he has PayPal account information as far as the activity. So I know he's aware of what's going on and he's looking at it. He's supposed to be getting a check for the PO box, the post office box. So
how does that work? How does the PO box work? Is that a monthly thing? Is that
they
a
have a
bi-monthly
bill in the
thing?
box, and then we're supposed to pay it. They eventually lock it if we don't pay it. So
What I'm saying is, is it monthly? Is it a bi-monthly?
6 months.
Is it every 6 months?
Yeah.
Is there a year option that we could just go ahead and pay it for the year, maybe a little cheaper? Let's go ahead and do that. I'd like to go ahead, if anybody in the room have a problem with us paying for the mailbox for the full year instead of just every 6 months? Yeah, so, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and,
I'll let Brian know. Yeah.
just pay for it for the year.
I haven't
Maybe
been
it'll
to
be
the
a
PO
little cheaper
box.
too.
Haven't been to the physical mailbox about 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I'll shoot over there.
Did we ever get the keys back?
It's technically due, I think, at the end of the month, so it's not like we're late. I'm just aware that it's coming
Okay.
up.
Did we ever get the keys, more than one key?
I have a key.
How many did we have total?
I'm only aware of one I have.
Okay.
I think I got that from Felix.
We used to be 2 keys years ago. We still have it downtown.
No, it's in Carrollwood, Dale Mabry, just south of Lowe's. I
All
think.
road.
Maybe it's
Do we want to
near
maybe,
your house? Is it?
Yeah, I guarantee it.
do we want to move that? Do we want to move this area?
I don't think so.
Is that bad for you to get over to that area?
It's always bad to get over that area.
Yeah, that's
but,
what I'm saying. Carrollwood's
It's not
a great area.
possible. It's like a 20-minute detour. It's not the end.
Yeah, because from Plant City for me, it's,
Yeah,
about
for
an
you,
hour and
I
a half.
understand. You can
Yeah.
task me to run for you if you need me to run
Yeah.
for you. Secretary's report. Help, sit down. Francisco. How's it going, Mr. Secretary? Trying to make this experience for our online viewers as cool as possible, Francisco.
Okay, so basically,
Tell us what you got.
I'm doing the robot, right?
Well, I don't think we took an attendance, so if anyone did sign an attendance sheet,
Because I haven't had attendance here.
we're not doing a vote, so it's, so far we're not voting on anything, so. Good minutes for July.
I did, I just didn't have them on my computer. So
Yeah.
I would have the next meeting.
All right.
My bad.
No problem. No worries. Appreciate you on the spot for sure.
communications, I'm sorry, you're done.
Yes, I'm finished, yes.
Communications chair, Kevin, you got 5 minutes.
All right, so,
And, go.
time is running. All right, so I took notes ahead of time so it can be as quick as possible.
Is that possible?
It's always a goal. It is a goal. All right, so communications care, Kevin O'Neill. We're doing some things well. We have our YouTube channel, we have a Facebook page. What else we got going on? Google groups. We have a MailChimp, I think it's called, where we can send out mail. Meetup. All these things are working. We're using them. Hopefully, you're not getting harassed too badly, but certainly you should get at least 1 or 2 a month from us. So we're connected. That's going on. I have played around the website a little bit. It's not exactly what I want, but there's a links page. We've got our bylaws in there, and there's actually a link in our links page to the top 25 libertarian movies for like last century. Susie and I have been picking through that. So if anybody's interested in having like a movie night at their house, I know we're going to do it eventually.
I was going to actually chime in on that if you don't mind.
Patrick,
I have all of the Atlas Shrugged movies, all three. If anybody's interested in doing maybe an Atlas Shrugged night, maybe we could do that.
We haven't watched that third one.
Yeah, I have all three. But
Went to the movie theater. You don't know how it ends. You don't know how it ends.
The bootleg with Chinese
And I-
subtitles, or?
no, I have a good bootleg copy. I also have what's Ayn Rand's first movie there? It's
Well,
yeah, I have that one as well.
this is well.
Something to well. I have that one as well. So
Beautiful.
anyway,
What days work for you?
Sorry to
You
interrupt.
want to do that next couple of weeks, or what do you think?
We can figure something
Fountainhead.
out. Fountainhead, yeah.
I just finished the book
Yeah.
yesterday.
And all this Ryan Rand walking around, you know?
Oh, speaking of, let me just chime in one other kind of funny anecdote here. On Kev, or what call it Kev? On Brian's first day of the AP, he steps into one of the little shacks out there, and there's a copy of Atlas Shrugged. He picks it up, he's got it on the camera, goes, "Boy, I just might have to read this," or whatever. So I thought,
So that's our outgoing chairman on the
Yeah.
Appalachian Trail, living it up. So good for him.
go ahead.
All right, so great idea. Movie night at Patrick's house.
I didn't say Patrick's house, I just
Or
said, "I'll
someplace.
bring the movies."
They'll bring the movies. Okay, we do it at our house. It's kind of small, but no problem. All right, so what do we got going on? So tonight is great. Bert's here. It's fabulous. I think it's good. Next, I'm going to whisper this. I don't want this to be too much of a debate because we're in this establishment right now. We have arranged for a similar room for the same deal at Peabody's Billiards, 2 miles that way. It's basically just past USF, called Brewsby Downs. You know, road hooks right Brewsby Downs, like a mile up on the right.
They probably got beer, right?
Hey, you got beers. I'm sorry, Mr. Wayne Rutland, for being a little late. I know he was asking for a liquor bar a couple months back. He's,
Well, I mean,
disappointed. was trying to
I think
take care of
even
him.
when they did have the places where liquor, he didn't quite make them every time, so.
All right.
We also advertise that.
Peabody's, it's on the back of the agenda is a map, just in case anyone's freaking out. It's not far. Straight north. All right, so that is what I want to talk about is who's, you know, I like our format. We have a new space. We've got some dates coming up. October 14th is our next regular meeting. I've reached out to Wolfgang Halbig. He is a school safety expert, was involved with Columbine, doing post-shooting reporting, and he has been investigating Sandy Hook. He's basically, for that false flag activity of our government, he is one of the key face people for that. There's been a lot of other, you know, people doing research, I'm aware of that, but this gentleman lives right off 5-4. He's already said he'd be willing to talk to us. So I'm going to propose we line him up for next month.
Fantastic.
I mean, it's a little bit controversial, but I kind of like doing that. You know, get some controversy, like Mr. Rotocopter Man, Doug Hughes would be one of them. So that's something I'm working towards. November 5th, how am I doing that time, man? A little long. November 5th,
You got 30 seconds.
is Jim Babka from Zero Aggression Principle, which is like his version of our non-aggression principle. He's been involved in a lot of different things. He's already coming to our area, and I've lined up that same space at PVD's for him to speak at. He's somebody that I think we're going to charge an admission. I think we're going to go for like.
He's gonna be down here anyway for something?
He's got 3 dates in Florida.
Okay.
And Joanne.
Yeah.
I'm tagging on to a school.
She's like, knows he's in the state and has arranged all this. She would set him up.
What group is that?
Zero Aggression Bowl, I think is what it's called.
It used to be downsized DC, I think.
Yeah, he's got several. They're written in here. I might have written it in here.
They all sound good.
It's all over Facebook. I don't know if you're on the Region 8 Facebook page. I can get you all the details if you want. So he's coming, and that's not our regular meeting. So I know you were talking about doing bylaws sometime pretty soon.
Well, we're going to take care of that.
EC meeting,
Yeah.
if that's how it works.
Yes.
Next general membership meeting is November 11th, Veterans Day. So we should probably do something in reference to Veterans Day.
Confederate veterans.
And what is it? I think that's it, other than 12/9's the next one. Oh, okay, this one, Brian Cole probably would have wanted me to speak about this, but on November 21st, Young Americans for Liberty at USF, right over here, is doing a all-day workshop on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Room 2709 in their quad building. A lot of our people are actively going to be there from the region. Augustus Invictus, who is a USF grad, is also going to be there doing a speech. And so we need to be there. We need to have a table. I think I'm going to be traveling. Are we going up to North?
I'm going
November 21st?
We would be out of state.
Yeah, like I can help on the front end, organizing stuff for sure. But we need to have like a voter registration booth and info table, and I think anybody's welcome to speak. I think they're doing debating. I think it's pretty much Young Americans for Liberty is a club over here, and I'm not right up there organizing, but I've heard secondhand they're going to have basically a Republican table and a Libertarian table, and they're going to basically let some fur fly debate.
Is Brian going to be there? Brian going to make that?
Oh, really? You want to join in?
Hell yeah.
You're going to have to wear like a baseball hat backwards, Bert. You got to look like a college kid.
Was Brian going to be in contact with that? Because I know
Brian Cole is definitely contact. I think he's like an organizer.
Right. I know he's pretty heavily involved in that. So get with Brian Cole.
I've gone
For that?
toe with them.
Yeah.
And the rats, the jackasses on TV.
Nice.
That's it for me. Any questions?
Actually, you did,
Yeah, Chris, I'm on.
yes, it's
Please.
Region 8, October 11th, Sunday, 3 p.m. Region 8 is having a bowling social for the whole Region 8 at our Hillsborough Veterans Pin Chasers. So it's in our
What's the date again?
October 11th, at 3 p.m.
I apologize.
It's $15 and includes pizza and a beverage. There's a, it's on the website,
Just
but it's
look
in
here.
Hillsborough, so you should have one.
Thank you. So in case you can hear all that on TV
Maybe you
land,
guys could
October 11th.
share that on
Pin
our
Chasers.
page, even though it's on the regional.
Yeah, I will. I apologize if I haven't done that. That's the bowling alley just north of the airstrip on Hillsborough. We're all going to be there, Susan and I, and maybe our kids. Come on down. Thanks.
All right. So
Just so you know, we talked smack at the Pinellas group about how
Yeah, we
we
did.
beat them from Hillsborough,
One
so
more thing.
you guys gotta show up and make us not look too lame after we said, oh yeah. Because then they asked me, so what, are you a pro bowler? And I said, no, I can't even bowl. So I said, but somebody in Hillsborough's gotta be able to bowl, so
Hey,
wherever
one
you are, please show up.
more thing. We invested $300 in a Freedom of Information Act request with the Tampa Police Department. Good news, bad news. We've gotten a handful of documents out of there, which to me are like so basic and elementary. I'm really disappointed. And I have them on this computer here, and I'm going to make them public to whoever it makes sense to look at. They basically said we've done 80% of all the stuff you've asked for all the email searches, but we've now figured out that you have to pay us, I think it was $600 more for us to just give them to you now. So I've already told them, like, you need to work with me with the budget, and I've been working with this person real nice on the emails and the phones, and they just come up with, now it's, pay us 200% more what you already paid us so you can get what we'll give you. So it's gotten real bad, and it is open right now. I've told them on an email back, I can't believe you guys are doing this to us. To me, it really looks like Tampa Police does not want to share public information. That is not what I believe what Tampa Police wants to do to the public here, the 500,000 Tampa residents. So I don't know where we want to go with that one. I assume we'd be the only one who appears fired up about trying to get in close with cops.
Like this is the reason I voted no on this originally, because I knew this was going to happen. I've had extensive talks, and I'm not trying to down you like that.
I told you so.
No, I'm not. No. I had extensive talks with Wally Sullivan about this, who is a big FOIA guy, and he said he forewarned us. I mean, he sat right here and forewarned us that this would in fact happen.
I've been guilty of jumping in and never letting go of things I should absolutely let go of. So
Please, I'm not trying to, I told you so. I'm not.
But if there's a pattern here, there's a pattern here. If there's a pattern of them never divulging information, that's basically illegal.
I understand
So,
that, but
if there's a
we
group
don't
of
have the
people,
money to
we should
combat
communicate with this group of people who've also had their information requests, handed back to them empty. And, maybe there's a state attorney someplace who wants to take this up. I know the Tampa Police Department's not too excited about their public relations with certain aspects of the community. There is a police commission being formed by executive order by the mayor. I think that's whatever that is. That's an attempt by that person, Bob Buckhorn, to attempt to communicate. He won't return calls. He won't return to emails when we send him direct messages about cops. But apparently he'll create this thing.
You gotta go to the city council right now since they're fighting with the police commission.
Yes,
Yeah, give him something else to fight
that
over.
guy Reddick, Councilman Reddick, is my councilman. So
well, at this point,
I'd be happy to speak to him.
I would suggest that we're not going to give them another dime, and I think we need to be seeking reimbursement.
One tertiary item is, as you may have seen on our Facebook page, there was a gentleman, basically splitting image of me, who had his door kicked in. Cops at gunpoint shot him, thinking he was a drug dealer.
Right.
Some other punk who was arrested coughed up some information about this guy, so he
Right.
lessened his sentence. I think this is called the. Someone should just tell me what it is, but I think it's called
Actually,
the Markham Act or the
Yeah,
Merchant Act. There's this act where there's a marketplace of narcs,
right.
where you can actually, if your kid's in jail, you can go find a drug dealer, get them arrested, and get your kid's sentence reduced. I don't know if anyone knows this. Susie's got her hand up.
I'm trying to calm you down.
Oh, sorry.
You're like, to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But anyways, there's a lawyer in town who's definitely noticed the city that's going to be suing the police department over this dead kid. And I think this might be somebody we want to communicate with, because we have an open Freedom of Information Act request, and that lawyer is definitely going after the cops, and maybe he would want to fund the rest of our Freedom of Information Act request. That's it for now. I don't know where we're going with that one. If anyone wants to talk about it,
Okay, we
I
got.
would like to respond to your word Marchman Act, so people know, you'll repeat what you just said, which was incorrect. The
please.
Marchman Act is what actually authorizes people, much like Baker acting someone who's mentally unstable. The Marchman Act is what says if you're a drug addict and I have the right to throw you into rehab, it has nothing to do with your limitations and jail time and all that.
Whatever.
Okay, moving on. Political Action Committee, since that is vacant, we have nothing for that. Development Committee, since that is vacant, we have nothing for that. Membership Committee, since that is vacant, we have nothing for that. So, we need to get those positions filled, folks. Anybody want to step up, we would greatly appreciate it. Same with Campaign Committee report.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna drum up new members?
Let's have a bonfire in our yard. Burn stuff.
Well, what I'm wondering is if there's a way to reach out to the gen pop. We've got a million general population, right? We've got 1 million residents in Hillsborough County, thereabouts. And, even the elephant, Hillsborough County elephant meetings, they have a couple hundred people out of 1 million. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well, we need
that's
to
them.
get the ones that have been coming to the meetings
But I'm
recently back coming to the
hopeful
meetings.
That if anything, the party might be able to better capitalize on the current negative sentiment going on. You notice how Trump, just because he's willing to talk about one issue and, not lawful, he's got 30% of the polls, okay? But I think people want more than just a stupid Trump. I think they really want to can some people, meaning can the people that are responsible for this
Well,
mess.
hopefully he'll continue his, if he wins, he'll continue on with his show and start with "You're fired." So,
Trump
Anyway,
needs unions, government
what-
unions.
yeah.
What I'm saying is that there's got to be a way to reach out. And for example, like an ad in the paper, we want candidates, and why we want to throw out the ruling party. All they're doing is destroying everything, maybe, but basically reaching out to all the people in Hillsborough County, there's probably a lot of people that are pissed that some are knowledgeable business people. They're fed up, like a recently retired business person is so fed up with the major parties that they're willing to run. Because a political party, folks, we should start every meeting with a reminder. What's a political party about? Candidates. Running candidates. Do we have anyone in here confident to run for any office? Probably not. So we got no candidates. Now, there's probably people out there that not only might be interested in associating with us, but people that are willing to actually run for office and want to run for office and know they can't, they don't want to associate with the elephants or jackasses. Yeah. They want to run for office, but they don't want to do it as an elephant or jackass. Right. And furthermore, the way they've got these districts gerrymandered, it's a virtual lock for one party or another. So there's a huge percentage, I don't know, it's 35, 40% of all these races do not have two major party candidates. So there's only one person who's a virtual lock, and that's worked out great for them. Right. But it leaves their pants down for a third party opponent. And those are the races you really need to focus on. But we got to have candidates. Who wants to run? How do we reach out to the gen pop when we got no money, of course, because everyone already knows that, I shouldn't even need to say that. With no money, how do you reach out to 1 million people, or at least a couple 100,000? We're here, we want candidates and people to help them get elected.
So I got a couple ideas. I mean, this Freedom of Information Act request was one of those methods. It's to drum up newsworthy, details about how our police department's operating, which pretty much hits most libertarians as far as, wanting to stay out of our lives. So the mission of our Freedom of Information Act request was to find what kind of collusion between them and the military is going on. And if you know about Minneapolis, Minnesota, the mayor there got whacked because she had allowed the military to do training in downtown Minneapolis, and they're still doing training in downtown Minneapolis, the military. So,
all right. So, do we have any old business? Anybody got any old business?
Speakers are the other thing, Bert. You're one of them. You're one of the people we're looking to have speak, and you have to help drum up information. Wolfgang Halbig is kind of a celebrity in the false flag area. And this Zero Aggression Act person's,
he's big time. He's national.
Yeah, he's a national character.
But also, it'd be nice if we could invite Augustus Invictus when an opportune moment. We've got a year, before elections.
I think the decisions in February.
I know he's eager to talk to everybody.
Don't we have convention decision making on primary stuff? We don't have actual primaries, if I recall.
No, you got to have two candidates in a race.
If Roger runs, we will.
I thought they had to get decided in the convention.
No, convention won't decide that.
No? All right.
Convention has nothing about who's going to run the U.S.
We don't even have one person in any race, much less two. So anyway, that would be great because that might raise attention.
Absolutely.
And invite Mr. Stone if he files.
So just for the information, I invited both of them to do a debate next meeting.
Well,
but Roger Stone can't.
Well,
on the 16th,
he'd have to travel here.
Kevin, if you want to go up Orlando on the 16th, Roger's supposed to speak up there according to Vicky. I talked to her the other day. She said I got to call him and make sure he's going to come. And Augustus will be there. So
that sounds pretty good.
Well, when Stone's in town, maybe that central region,
well,
which is still your region.
I've talked to him about speaking in both, and we haven't set a date yet, but he's told me that he would.
So back to getting the word out, we have postcards. These are in bags so that people can take these, put them in their car. And when you're at a public event that you're bored to death at, get these things out and start sticking with people's hands. You'll find somebody you can get an interesting conversation going with. And, basically, are you sick and tired of status quo? Do you really expect these people to change? They're never going to change. Join us. That's pretty much, does anybody want one of these for their?
If I can ask a question. Have you all thought about targeting the folks who become libertarian in major parties? Because there's like a couple hundred of them here in
Yeah,
Hillsborough.
we've been trying several different things.
I'm just thinking, like, you already have a card made.
Right, yeah, we've been handing those things out there.
We have a call sheet. We have a, if anyone wants to dial members,
No, I hear you.
it's already set up on our Google system. Just let me know and I'll send it to you. It's basically a spreadsheet. You just go right up down the spreadsheet. You can search by zip code or street name. You start dialing people.
Yeah.
Boxes. Right? Yeah.
Meeting adjourned.
Actually,
Oh, go ahead.
every time I'm here, nobody ever asked me for money.
Yeah,
You guys want money?
yeah, we want money. We always want money.
I know. I just-
No, we
should be-
didn't actually get to that
You should be
point.
raising money. I know they're trading in here, but no one ever asked me.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll take your money.
Take your money.
Anybody want to give me money, I'll take it.
We haven't tried to get a problem.
What's that? I think like $600. 600. No, it's more
Can
than
I
that.
make a suggestion? Can we announce what does it take to be in some of these open positions? You know, it seems like month after month, we come back and we say, hey, does anybody want to run for this? And it's the same people who don't want to run from last month. Can we like talk about what's needed for our group? Because if you don't have a chairperson after a while, you're not going to be a legal person.
I think the Patrick's the.
You have job descriptions for all these?
And Kevin's doing a pretty good job.
I did one for Kevin last month.
We're job
as
descriptions on these.
I wrote one for Kevin's position and brought it to last month's meeting to say,
Yeah,
hey, I
fun,
suggest we do this. However, it kind of, I'm with Dan on this one. We're not, in my opinion, I don't believe we as a monthly group are doing what it takes to get what we need done. Our membership can be dropping. You know, we need to be calling the meeting to order. We need to be asking for money, even if it's just doing a simple raffle to get 50-50 raffle or whatever's legal. I think we need to have job descriptions. I think we need to tell people what it is and what the requirement is and what the time is. I mean, Kevin took some one-on-one time, several hours with Francisco to get him up and running because nobody had anything. Kevin kind of went through and had to fumble through it, and we wrote a job description for his to give to the next person. But I think somewhere in here, particularly the EC committee, we need to determine what needs to be done. And then like Bert pointed out, we're supposed to be trying to find candidates to run. So I think it would be very helpful if we knew what was expected of us. So next month when we came in and you said, do you want to run for this? I might say yay or nay.
So,
Actually, can we wait till Patrick's here? Because that's something I want to say in front of Patrick. I don't get to come to every meeting, but every time I come, it's the Kevin show. You're doing so much and there's other people involved, and I know Francisco's new and I see Brian Cole is here. And it's always like, I don't have anything, but you have so much to say to this group. You need to delegate it out to other EC people, but it seems like you have communications and you get up and talk and you have so much on your plate that I don't want to join it. I have to do that so much, but then there's other EC members that don't come to this meeting and actually I don't feel like there's others doing as much as you, and I don't know, it's just how it's coming across.
So it's a good, thanks.
I mean,
For comments. It's a strength and a weakness. I sit at the computer all day. I don't get to sell. I used to be a salesman. I can come here and I'm like selling, so I'm having fun. All right. So I appreciate Jen.
There's
always something more we can be doing.
Is for me personally, and I don't know, maybe for some of the people who are coming and just kind of sit back and listening, if there was a task of something small, like somebody do this small little thing, you might get more of participation. Like we said, can somebody do the table? But it's kind of washed over it. We didn't we didn't write down names. We didn't say, okay, Bert, you said you do it. I'm going to call you. And you said you sit at the table, and just more of a general take over the whole.
Deanna, that's when I took over chair in public. That's what I started doing. To get people involved, and it really does work. Give them something, even if it's just something.
I don't want to do what Kevin's doing.
Give them some responsibility to do, because then they feel like they're part of the organization. And They've got something.
we've
I
had-
think our big thing coming
We've
up
had
is
Stephen-
November 21st, so I can't be there, Susie can't be there, that's at USF right across the block.
I'm sure you got it's all things that need to be done, and if you can break it down with what makes sense for one person to do. and
Yeah,
break
I
it
could
apart.
put a hit list of tasks together on like a Google document, send it out, you guys can fill in the boxes for what you want to do, like maybe somebody wants to bring chairs and tables, maybe someone wants to bring a tablecloth, and, go ahead.
Well, right now, Hillsborough County is having a series of meetings, transportation, they're trying to sell public on more taxes. I don't know if they've already passed that flood tax or if it's still up in the air. What we in the past, years ago, we actually had a couple of meetings where we get everybody to show up at one of these meetings. And everybody would take a different aspect of it and stand up and talk. That would, I think, would show some opposition, number one. Number two, it would identify us with something that most people can identify with. Your Freedom of Information Act is a good idea. It needs to be done, but that's a very narrow segment of people that are going to be interested in that. Taxes, guns, property rights. Most people are interested in those somewhere.
Great observation. We had our group, Libertarian Party, Hillsborough County, issued some press releases about our opposition to the county tax proposal for light rail. Let's not forget what this is. This is basically funding labor to keep doing what labor is doing to improve our road, which is great, but that's already supposed to be funding to the general tax on in the regular budget. That's supposed to be bonding to pay for labor. And they want to put it in light rail. So now, some people understand light rail, some people don't. But all I get to say is the way they want to do it is increase our sales tax by 0.5%, making us literally the most expensive metropolitan in the state of Florida. Not just tied, it would then be the most expensive metropolitan area.
I want to chime in since you're on that subject.
And Patrick and I were down there at County House and his mother as well. Bobby, you were down there?
Yeah, well, I just went down to this latest Go Hillsborough little presentation in Sassa.
How'd that go?
Oh,
Did you
my
videotape
God.
it?
No, I did not because I came in from work, and I'm going to tell you what. I was like E.F. Hutton there after a few minutes. There was like 6 or 7 people in the room, and everybody was focused on me ranting and raving.
Were you turning red?
It said your voices, your choices, right? So you were.
Yeah, I was definitely voicing my choices. If I had my choices, I went through all their little presentation with a black Sharpie and said, no, stupid, no, forget it, waste money, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what they want to do with the light rail now is they want to do away with all of the, what they're calling old trains. I'm like, no, they're made to look old. They're not really old. They're made to look old. What they want to do is make them like little mini bullet trains. Yeah.
Like Walt Disney World's monorail?
Right. So they want to take away all of the trains that are down there and replace them with mini bullet trains.
And they are sure they have a private fee that's going to pay for them, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Well, in their presentation, 1/4 of it was the half-cent sales tax that they want to go ahead and raise us with. Their other 3/4 of their presentation was if they could get 1 cent out of this. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait. You guys said you're only going to shoot for 1 or 0.5%. Why is this other stuff even up here? If this is what you could do with 1 cent and that you're not looking for, why is it up here? The guy couldn't answer that.
They've changed the focus in the last month. Yes.
If the public's asleep, why not steal from them? That's
Exactly
basically what it is.
After I ranted and raved about all the wasted projects and everything that they're working on for the roads and all the mini bullet trains and all this other garbage, I asked that since there was a guy there from Hart, I went and spoke with him and I said, can you answer 3 questions for me? He goes, well, I will certainly try. I said, number 1, how much does your system cost per year to run? Sir, I don't know that, but I will look into that and I'll get back to you. I said, okay, since you couldn't answer number 1, I'm sure you're not going to be able to answer number 2. Right, since you don't know, how much your system makes, I said, how much does it cost to operate? He couldn't answer that. So I went on to my third question that I knew, in fact, that he would not be able to answer, and that's how many riders do you have on your system? Sir, I'm not quite sure, but I'll get back to you. And I said, okay, so if you don't know how much your system makes per year, and you don't know how much your system costs per year, and you don't know how many people ride your system per year, how do you know you need more money? And I just got, So, yeah, they weren't too thrilled with me. Yeah, they weren't too thrilled with me after, 10 or 15 minutes.
But I think I'm sorry, what you brought up was that gathering, my experience when you're working with groups is that when groups have something to focus on outside of themselves, they can get people riled up about something, that these are all very valid points that people besides us in this room, in our area, would love to get behind you. And then that gives you an opportunity to start building up your committees and your meetings, because now you're meeting with other people that have similar interests.
Yeah, I encourage you all. They just did it in my mom's area. She went in her area, what was it, like 3 weeks ago? And she went and talked to these folks. These signs are popping up all over the place. They're making their little appearances.
We can make it a sport and go to every single one of the meetings.
Patrick went to another room. When you went, we started brainstorming about
the purpose is how to get people to the meetings and to the group and to build the party. So Kevin going to one meeting, Susie going to one meeting, Bobby going to one meeting doesn't work. What we're suggesting is if we say as a group, join the Libertarian Party at this meeting, and then we all show up, even if we all just wear a blue shirt.
Right.
Or whatever it is.
For me, it was a last-minute thing on my way home.
Right, but that's not what we're talking about right now.
No, I understand that.
So what I'm saying is if we find something outside of our group, which is what he suggested, these are very key points, like the South Tampa one. I went to the South Tampa meeting, and I came back as an HR director, and it's all man hours. It's not even going to talk about fixing our tubs. This is insane.
Let me interrupt you for a second. This is what I was talking about when I went downtown. Me and my mom went downtown. I went down with Molly with the AP. This is where I met Greg. And this is where I was talking about trying to get more of these groups together. So not only are we as libertarians going down there, now we're holding hands with the AFP. And we're holding hands with the. But what I'm getting at is, it's good if 30 of us from the Libertarian Party show up. But if 30 people from the 912 groups can show up, and 15 people from the AFP show up, now we're 100.
Okay, well, maybe then I'm off track, because my understanding is that what we're talking about is building the Libertarian Party within Hillsborough County so that we can put candidates up in office. So, yes, we can make a statement and make a bigger statement against certain thoughts, whatever those thoughts might be, when we're linked with other groups. But for right now, if we say as a group, this group dynamic is going to make a stand here. Just like we're all going to show up to go bowling, or we all show up to hear so-and-so speak. If this group says we are going to take a stand on, well, monthly meeting, say this month we're going to show up in here, and you bring 30 people there, and we call people on the phone, or we email them, and we say, hey, we're going to be here. We'd love to have you come with us. Wear a blue shirt. There'll be somebody at a table with a blue tablecloth giving out blue name tags. Come sign in with them. Then we're making contact with people. My experience, and I only have 40 years of professional experience in group dynamics, but my group dynamics says unless you guys get outside of yourselves and focus on something, it's going to be very hard for this group to grow members. It's going to make it very hard for you to find people to fill in your positions. It's going to make it very difficult for Kevin to delegate chores, and it's going to make it very difficult for someone like Bert suggested to find candidates. So the very first step on your agenda has to be building your people, and people need to see you doing something.
Right. So, I think that's a splendid idea. Now you're thinking, okay? If you go to a meeting, all there would take is maybe 3 people wearing libertarian shirts. I mean, stand out, and they're in the thick of it. Remember, all these people are out there raising hell about something. Or you take a 912 group. They have their own concerns. But they're not a political committee, okay? a political activist type. Right, it's a club, as opposed to a party, which is about candidates. Look, you guys are pissed off, and you really want to do something about it? You know, well, we're the means for you to turn your sentiment into political action. And these 912 people, a lot of them probably have fired the major party.
People's here, so he can speak for the 912.
Okay, well, there's all these other groups, though. So there's, first of all, the public meetings being regular, hit the hornet's nest type attendees at these meetings is a way to get the party name out. But I'm talking, you wear libertarian shirts. Everyone knows who you are. Or these other groups is really separate. Your political meetings, a county commission or somewhere, that's one thing. But
yeah,
the groups.
I guess something comes too, which is on the communications agenda is to get a service where we can text message people rapidly, so that when there is a hearing going on, not everyone's on Facebook or what have you, but all our material would have, if you want to stay in touch with Liberty, text Liberty to this number. We collect all their phone numbers and we push out to them. Today is a hearing on this topic. We need to fill a room. Bring your yellow shirt, bring your blue shirt, whatever it is. But we're going to be on the left side of the room.
Most of those are announced well in advance, though. Right?
Yeah, we also cancel them.
They cancel them last minute.
Cancel them all the time.
What I've been noticing when I'm going down there with their agendas are last minute as well. So it doesn't really give you a whole lot of time to brush up on their talking points, which I think is by design.
I want to say also that we have a YouTube channel. I've done a handful of video editorials. We really need a stream of editorials coming out, and we need to build viewership. And you all have your own topics you're focused on, and that's it's simple. You just set your phone on a tripod and yell at it, and you'd be surprised how coherent it can be. All right, so Susie, is Rand Paul out of the race yet? Can you say you're a libertarian or not? We'd like to put you to work on something.
I have been working on something more than many libertarians, I might add.
Yes, this is a true statement. A GOPer. This is a true statement.
It is a sad but true statement.
Which marriages fail aren't that.
All right, so I think we're officially wrapped up here. Does anyone want to say anything else? Great.
I want to say one more thing about Wayne. It's not about Wayne per se. Wayne should be alive. Never be afraid to challenge your doctor. He had a neck operation in May. Bothered him the whole time. It was getting worse and worse and worse. His doctor kept saying, "You're fine, you're fine, you're fine." He had an infection in there. By the time he went to another doctor and got it got into his heart.
Wow.
Never be afraid to challenge your doctor. He'll get a second thing.
Thank you for
Probably
that.
gonna make his wife rich.
Yeah, but it's not what you would want.
Not what I
I
would do.
Ken mentioned that somebody back in the day that.
Ken's wife had something going on. I can't get it.
I just don't know what my schedule is at school, but sometimes.
I'll be right back, folks. I'm going to walk.
All right, so let's say we're adjourned. So we're meeting adjourned. Bring your friends and family next time. And if you haven't friended our YouTube channel, do so. And sign up your neighbors to vote, especially the ones who just moved in. Thank you. I'll be right back.
And prepare.
Nothing's going for you. Prep.
There's a lot of sentiment out there that things could erupt very soon, in the next month or so. One of my guys that I read this long way economic cycle guru, Martin Armstrong, he's got this computer model, and I thought it was going to blow up completely in 2008, and well, yeah, it did. But he's saying the next big downturn, he was predicting 6 years ago, 2015, 2005. Basically the end of September timeframe. So